COSATU expects budget speech to focus on job creation and activists to present Zuma with a Rhino ultimatum document. I'm Lebo Chankela with this news update. Labour Federation COSATU says it expects Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan's budget speech to focus on, amongst other things, job creation. Gordhan will deliver his budget speech in the National Assembly this afternoon. Economists say he faces a difficult balancing act in keeping government borrowing within prudent bounds and finding the money for ambitious government development plans. COSATU's Patrick Craven.
COSATU and its partners are expecting that once again the priority will be employment, and that everything in the speech will be geared towards how we can create more jobs, change the basis of our economy. We expect that the minister will take his cue from the president, who outlined some very ambitious plans for infrastructure development, and we will need to hear today how these are actually going to be implemented.
Investors will pay close attention to economic developments in South Africa, except for the budget speech this afternoon. Statistics South Africa will release the Consumer Price Index later this morning. Analysts expect the CPI to tick up to 6.2% from 6.1% in December. The Reserve Bank says that food prices influenced by global and local factors would remain the major driver of inflation. It expects inflation to return to its target range in the first quarter of next year. Weakness in the rand since September has added to inflation pressure, along with expectations that South Africa will have to import maize this year, pushing food prices higher. Today, several global and local animal and conservation activist groups are to present President Jacob Zuma with a Rhino ultimatum, a document urging government to take action to prevent more poaching. Director of the Sector 24 Rights Coalition, Marianne du Plessis, says if government does not heed the call to save the rhino, animal rights organizations will boycott South African services. Du Plessis says 69 rhinos have been poached across South Africa since the beginning of the year.
The Rhino ultimatum essentially is a call to the South African government where we, a worldwide population, and especially South Africans, are looking for the Section 24 rights of our Bill of Rights to be upheld. And this is specifically with regard to our environment and our wilderness and our wildlife, specifically the rhino in this instance. We have a 9-point plan in the Rhino ultimatum. There are actually expectations of government that we would, as the global signatories, expect the government to seriously consider and implement.
And the Johannesburg Metro Police have warned taxi drivers without proper documentation to stay off the city's roads or face the full might of the law. Yesterday, JMPD officers were out in full force in the Bree Street taxi rank, stopping and checking taxis. During the operation, 160 minibuses were found to be unroadworthy and their license discs were cancelled. The Metro Police's Wayne Menard.
14 others were impounded. 2 taxi drivers were arrested for having false driver's licenses, and 1 driver was arrested for being drunk. The operation forms part of Safety Month, which started on the 1st of February up until the 29th of February.